Hi there, I'm Joe Elmendorf, an information architect at the Understanding Group. For my work, I model nearly every day in one way or another. I also like to geek out on new ways of modeling, and over the years I've tried many different tools to help me. Some I've tried and adopted, and others I've tried and abandoned. In this video, I'm going to share with you some of the tools that I keep at my disposal for when I'm making models. I always keep paper on my desk, usually old printer paper that I don't need anymore. That, and as simple as it gets, just a regular pen. Nothing, doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just something to quickly sketch down, model some ideas, how some concepts relate. One of my favorite Sharpies is an extra fine point Sharpie. So I usually have a stack of those. Of course, there's the regular one, chunky one for the real thick stuff. But paper, you can either use, I usually have 11 by 17 or letter, just like this. Great way to start. Another way to do it is a big roll of paper. I think it was like 40 bucks, and it's just great. It's kind of like an infinite canvas of the digital world a little bit. Yeah, that's a great thing to be able to have if you're just kind of having something sprawl out or you don't want to be confined to a single sheet of paper. Oftentimes after I've worked on paper for a little bit just to get the idea out of my head, I'll switch over to something digital, either an iPad or I have a MacBook here that I use, and so we can take a look at a couple of the apps that I use on those that are great ways to get started. First, we'll start with what I use on the iPad. One of my favorite iPad tools is called Concepts. It gives you this great infinite canvas and lets you choose your colors, and you get to futz around with your different tool types. I like the fixed width tool, but I like it because it just is a simple drawing tool. I use it with the Apple Pencil. It allows you to go forward, back. You get to write pretty well with it. You can control how sloppy or neat your lines are. You can zoom in and out really, really far. I like drawing and then coloring in with this tool. Another thing that's really nice about this is its ability to export. You can export in a whole bunch of different formats right to any of your other devices. Next, we'll take a look at a web-based tool. Miro is my go-to web-based modeling tool at the moment. You can sign up and get a free access to 3 boards. But when you log in, you get to all of your boards. And if we launch into one of these, we can see that we have tools over here. We can make shapes. We can write in these shapes. We can resize the shapes. We can copy these shapes. And we can draw arrows in between them. And what's really cool is that we can share this with anybody on our team, and they have access to collaborate in real time, meaning that we'll see their cursors in here as well. Then there are these frames. You can put frames around things that kind of group objects together. That's where you can put the title of your model. There's sticky notes that you can add, a way to kind of just quickly slap down a note that you'll replace later, or something to address later. I find that really helpful. You can also use a pen tool. I don't use this very often. If I were going to hand draw something like this, I would prefer to use a pen in real life, but this works too. So Miro, it's a great tool that is web-based, so you can use it on a PC or a Mac. They have an app for the Mac that I use, but it works just as well in a Chrome browser. There are extensions and add-ons in here. Lots of great stuff that make Miro a pretty good tool for modeling. And lastly, I want to talk about modeling on a Mac with a tool called OmniGraffle. This is my go-to digital modeling tool. Whenever I'm trying to make something on my own, or when I'm done collaborating and I want to try making something look a little more polished, a little more finished, or if I have to work with a lot of different objects. Sometimes the web-based ones get a little bogged down with a lot of objects, but OmniGraffle can handle those greater quantity of objects a little bit better. OmniGraffle gets you a lot greater precision in what you're drawing, a lot better control over your shapes and lines and styles. You can do more repeatable styles than you can in Miro. A progression that I'll take is starting on paper, then bringing it into Miro, working with other people. When I'm ready to make the polished version of this model, then I'll take it into OmniGraffle, where I can tweak it and finesse it more and get it to look exactly the way that I want it to. Some people use Adobe Illustrator. I never learned how to use Adobe Illustrator, and so that's not something that I use. But I've been told that Illustrator works well also. This creates vector outputs, so it's really good for zooming in to tiny little details as well as zooming back out to get the overall picture. If you have a chance to try OmniGraffle, it might be worth a shot. If you're on a Mac, again, it's Mac only. They offer a free trial. You should check it out. So in addition to tools that help me mechanically create the models, we at the Understanding Group have also developed a tool called the Clear Models Framework to help novices learn what's important when making a model, as well as for experienced modelers when getting or giving feedback about the models that they create. If you want to learn more about how to model and get exclusive access to the Clear Models Framework, check out the 4-week all-online workshop that we've put together. It's called Modeling for Clarity, and you can learn more about it and sign up for an upcoming workshop at understandinggroup.com.